Yo, what's going on? What's going on? Welcome to another episode of Foreign Insight with your host, Maddox, man. Like, share, subscribe, man. I'm working hard up here, man. Thank you for all the supporters who support this channel. I really appreciate y'all. But let's get into it, man. Can we keep it real for once, man? And I'm making this episode to try to help wake up my black people from following a bunch of brainwashing scare tactics and brainwashing tactics when it comes down to Donald Trump. Right? Now, I'm not saying you can't vote for whoever you vote for. That's your American right, right? You should be able to vote for whoever you vote for. But I always tell my black people and people in general to vote for policies, not the person, right? For example, a lot of people saying, I'm voting for Joe Biden or I'm voting for Kamala Harris because I don't like Trump. But they can't mention one policy. And I'm like, that's kind of bad. Like, just tell me why you voting for Kamala Harris while out bringing up Trump. Go. A lot of them can't tell me why. They still got to bring up Trump. Like, Trump. Like Trump deranged syndrome. Right? So it's crazy. And we keep hearing that he's going to be a dictator and the third. Like, come on, man. You know, that's BS. He's already president. And was he one then? No, he wasn't, right? When people say Donald Trump is trying to, what they say, Donald Trump is trying to, hold on one second, one moment. I lost something just now. They bring up, Donald Trump is trying to take away women's rights. And when I asked them what that is, they always mention abortions. And I'm like, no, that's not true. He actually for it, but also for a limit. And he's saying whatever state vote for whatever term abortions they for, he supports that state in their decision. Meaning the people. He giving the people the opportunity and the power to make their own decisions what's best for their state instead of leaving it up to the federal. Right? So when people say, Donald Trump is trying to take away rights from people, or he's trying to remove books from school. Yep, he's trying to remove books from school. That is not fair. X, Y, and Z. Oh my goodness. But they don't tell you the books that they're talking about. He's not trying to ban books from school, right? Or African American studies in school, like they try to rely on DeSantis. That's not what that's about. They're trying to shoehorn a weird agenda into African American studies. They all say no, it's law to put African American studies in school, but there's certain type of agenda that's being pushed. Let me give an example.
Navarro stuck any good lately? What's wrong, Navarro? I think you like a big in your mouth.
Wow.
Ha ha ha. Page 23. The other.
Y'all heard that? Stuff a big sausage in your mouth. And they gotta bleep out because it's profanity in the book.
Here it is. What's the educational benefit of talking about the What's the educational benefit of talking about that? Is that going to help someone on the SAT score?
Nope.
Hear me kind. Get a shot at that. She can care less. That's a sign.
Look.
She needs to put down her sign. For a second.
Look.
Oh, you're putting me out.
Look.
For what? To put down.
Look at her face. This right here is an evil face. And a lot of these type of progressive liberal women has brainwashed my black woman. And I'm here to save my black woman from people like this. what kind of mess is this? This is BS.
Every second. Oh, you're putting me out. For what? For asking you to abide by the rules. A board member held up a sign, but the audience couldn't hold up signs. This is tyranny, and we're dealing with a corrupt government system.
Facts. Now, these are the same people, white and black, are together in the crowd, going against this weird agenda being pushed into our children's schools. So basically, when Trump is talking about this type of stuff, right? He's talking about things like this. He trying to remove these types of books out of children libraries in school. How does that benefit you when it comes to SATs or Regents? Remember the cat skill exams? How does that benefit you in any way? It's ridiculous. And it also said he trying to take away women's rights. Once again, I already covered up the mini part about the whole abortion. I can't say the part, but you get what I'm saying. Even that was a lie. He's trying to get rid of a lot of trans women out of women's sports who are born male and born man or born boy, however you want to phrase it. He don't want those people in women's sports, which I agree, because women have fought so long and so hard for rights. And just because somebody identifies as such, they get to skip the line and infiltrate women's rights and women's spaces. That's not cool. Let me give you a prime example of what I'm talking about.
Taking home that $20,000.
Good throws and reversals by both fighters.
These girls are getting right into it. Fox delivering the knees, and that's it. Fallon Fox.
How was that fair?
Holy cow. Game over.
Wow.
And
that's a woman right there.
To our first
born woman.
Our first women's $20,000 championship tournament fight.
Is a born male.
By knockout, Fallon Prince Horse.
How you feeling right now?
I'm feeling excellent. That was sweet, huh? Did you like that? Yeah! And I want to tell everyone else, I'm coming in this tournament. Every woman in this tournament better look out. I'm freaking coming.
You heard her.
How was that fair for women? So they disguise it because that was a trans woman fighting an actual woman, right? Now Trump is saying this is not fair to actual women. But they're going to put it online that he's trying to take away women's rights from women. Because they're labeling trans women as women, and that's their rights also. That is not fair. That is not fair. That dude has bigger lungs, a bigger heart, way more muscle mass, thicker skeleton, way more testosterone than a female. Even if he take drugs that make it go less, it's still higher than a female, naturally. How is that fair for a woman? That is not fair. So when Trump is doing this, they're going to try to disguise it as he's trying to remove women's rights. That's the trickery. That's the trickery. And the thing that also gets on my nerves, let me get prepared for this one, that they had tricked black people and say, hey, it's not fair that Donald Trump is separating children from their parents at the borders. That's not fair. That is not cool. First of all, he wasn't doing that. Number two, they was already separated. A lot of them was already separated because they was kidnapped in Mexico and drug trafficked and drugs was placed on the children, and it was coming across the border with the children that they wasn't even related to half the time. So, or some people actually did come across the border with their children, but it came through illegally. So, that's a crime. They will put you in a jail cell, and your children can't go with you in a jail cell. So they will separate your children in a different room to try to find the missing parent or a fellow family member to take them back to Mexico where they come from. So if Donald Trump had let the kids out on the streets of Texas and California and keep their parents in jail, that would be child abuse and child neglect. Am I lying? We would call that evil because it would be evil. So, of course, you got to help find the family or the right parents of these children. They was coming to the terrains of the deserts and things like that by the coyotes. Not an animal. It's people called the coyotes who know the terrain of the deserts that come across the border. Right? Let me give you an example. If I had a son and I go rob a bank and my son is with me, can my son go do the jail time with me, or my son will be separated from me? It'll be more easier because I'm a citizen here, so it'll be more easier for them to hold my son in the precinct or holding facility until they contact my family members to see if my family would take custody of the child. If not, they would go through the system. My child can't go to Rikers Island with me. They can't do it. So don't let these left-wing media, progressive / liberals or Democrat, fool you into this thing. Most of these cages already was inherited from Biden / Obama / Biden administration. They called them holding facilities when they was in office, but they called them cages when Trump was in office. And for the people out there getting upset saying, yo, it's not fair that he's separating the children from the parents. Y'all the same people who separate puppies from dogs. Y'all would have a dog who give birth to 11 puppies, and y'all bag them up and sell them to the community. You just separated a dog from its puppies.
You grabbing me like I'm a run. I'm not gonna run. I know
He was like
I'm trying to make a joke with it. It makes sense though. That's mad hypocritical. I don't care what y'all want to say. That's mad hypocritical. They separate kids from their mothers at the parents. But they separate the kids at the borders from their parents. That's unfair. But then you separate puppy from the dog at your house. How's that fair for the puppy and the dog? You got the same people who cried watching Bambi. They ain't make any sense though, but still, y'all get what I'm saying. Y'all the same people when you watch all these dog movies and they take the parent away from the dog, then the child gotta find the parent later on, and cartoon Disney shit. But y'all get what I'm trying to say, right? I just find that to be hella weird, right? So another thing that I find to be weird, Trump didn't pay his taxes, or Trump tax fraud. I never seen so many people, especially my black people, who have been brainwashed to care about Trump tax return. Since when we have ever cared about a president's tax return? That's not right, yo. He doing tax fraud. Last time I checked, a lot of y'all is claiming children that's not y'all's for income tax checks. You are a whole hypocrite. You're mad at him that he didn't show his taxes. He getting around the tax thing and he trying to get over taxes. That's not right. But meanwhile, you're claiming your next door neighbor's children for income tax checks. You're claiming your niece and nephews who you don't take care of for income tax check, and y'all split the money with the mother or father. But y'all mad at Trump for tax cheats or tax loopholes. It's very hypocritical. Another thing, this whole MAGA thing. Let's get into this MAGA thing. MAGA stands for Make America Great Again. Right? When they mentioned MAGA, they were talking about the academy. Academy. I mean, when they mentioned MAGA, they was talking about the economy. Saying, bring jobs back to America, and let's start outsourcing things and create it ourselves like we did back in the days, which America was thriving and booming economic-wise, right? Because you had the factories there. And that created a bunch of jobs, the factories, the stores, and things like that and that sort. The construction sites. All that stuff is built home. All the things we needed is built home. Why are we outsourcing to China and Indonesia, where you could create jobs here and raise their wages higher? You get what I'm saying? So therefore, you have a bunch of black, whites, Hispanic that can have jobs here. So MAGA stands for that, for the economy. But then you have woke Negroes who listen to liberal white people and they say, I'm confused. MAGA is a racist term. Just because Trump supporters support MAGA, and you might have a racist in that crowd, just like you might have a racist in a Democrat crowd. Both sides will have racists in both sides. You can't erase that. But most of the sides on both of them aren't really racist. You get what I'm saying? So I'm just saying, that's what MAGA stands for, right? Make America Great Again for the economy. So how come it's racist when Trump says it, but it wasn't racist when Ronald Reagan said it?
Hope and we'll welcome them into a great national crusade to make America great again.
It wasn't racist when Bill Clinton said it.
Give me your prayers and your help. I believe that together we can make America great again.
In fact, black people called Bill Clinton black. They called Bill Clinton black because he got his penis sucked in the White House. They called him black because he played a punk-ass saxophone on our City Hall show or one of them late night shows. He played it with shades on. And when I was a kid, he always reminded me of that McDonald's moon. That old school commercial with the McDonald's moon singing on the piano. He just reminded me of that when he had them shades on playing that damn trumpet. Or saxophone, I should say. Oh, he's hip, yo. He's mad cool. He's black. He's black. He's black. So a white man is black because he cheated on his wife and got his penis sucked in the White House. That's all it took for him to be black, was to cheat on his woman? That is an insult to black people. They even claim that he's black because he played the saxophone and got his penis sucked. But when he said MAGA, for the same reason, no one called him racist. When he said, make America great again, in 94, or even one of the early 90s, he said this and no one called him racist.
Make America great again.
So if it wasn't racist then, why is it racist now that Trump said it? And Trump was very direct at what he meant by it. Economy. And then you got woke Negroes saying, yo, when have America ever been great for black people? Try to play the victim card. I'll tell you when. Now, I'm not blaming Jim Crow for black people for it being great. I'm not blaming it at all. Jim Crow was a horrible thing. Let's get that out the way. But during Jim Crow, black people was married and had babies in wedlock. If I am mistaken, the highest of any race in the country. Because black people during that time knew all we had was us. We was more unified, way more resilient of people. We looked after one another. We took care of each other's children and our own. We actually had family time. Now, family time as a unit is almost obsolete in the black community today. And what I mean by family time, I'm talking about wife, husband, and child. So during that time, black Americans, it was great for us because we was having babies in wedlock. We feared God, and we actually obeyed the Bible, and we actually prioritized family. And last time I checked, nothing's greater than family. Especially to a wife and a husband. You get all the degrees you want. You can be happy with the degrees, fine. Nothing will fulfill you and make you feel whole of being the actual mother. You will feel whole. You will feel whole if you had children and they being raised by you and your husband. A man, he will feel whole if he can take care of his family and provide for them and keep the family unit, the nuclear family unit, intact. That's a powerful thing. How we got way more opportunities and lost our family fiber. We lost it. So when people ask me, when was America great for black people? That time it was. Because black families was together. That is greatness. And to be perfectly honest, a lot of white people actually envy that. Black women and black men have always worked. A lot of white women envy that black women worked. They envy that. That's why it's like having a whole feminist movement. Oh, listen, at the end of the day, I want to have the same opportunity as my man. I don't want to be home by myself and take care of the children. I think only 4% of women actually said that, though, to be perfectly honest. 4 to 5% of women actually wanted to do men's jobs. Women in nature, naturally women, they don't want to do men's jobs. They don't want to do that. So, yeah, that's one thing that I want to clear that part up because people always confuse that part, right? I'm telling you, at the end of the day, man, I don't understand why black people are so loyal to Democrats. We are super loyal to these people. And then you wonder why they don't do ish for you. Last time I checked, wasn't Jim Crow South created by racist Democrats in the South? Last time I checked, the KKK was created by Democrats. And it also scaring black people into voting Democrat in the South by beating them and killing them to make sure that they vote Democrat. The first Republican president was Abraham Lincoln. Now, I'm not saying he wasn't racist, but let's be honest. He got killed for freeing slaves. Or ending slavery, I should say. I know it's different reasons people want to mention X, Y, and Z, but I'm just getting straight to the point. And I say this to say this. I say that to say this. Democrats have done us bad. Even Malcolm X said it. Democrats can't be trusted. Right? And my conclusion is this to black people. I think black people have Stockholm syndrome to the Democrat Party. Like we really fell in love with our abuser. And I captured. Like, I really felt this. I felt it before, and I feel it now. Black people have Stockholm syndrome to Democrats, and nobody can tell me different. Look at Kamala Harris. She's running for president, right? And I'm not even knocking it. You can vote for who you want, but I always say just vote for people for policies. But I'm pretty sure a lot of black people, mainly women, is going to vote for her because she's black and a woman. That is insane to me. And I ain't going to lie, I felt guilty under that when I was younger, and I ain't know no better. When I voted for Obama in the first term. Because he's a black man. He's black. Actually, he's biracial, but let's go with narrative. He's black. So we went with that. Yeah. In the second term, what happened? He did way more for the LGBT community than actual black people. Right? So now, we're going to vote for Kamala Harris for the same exact reasons. You're not tired of spending $8 for eggs? Y'all ain't tired of spending $8 for milk? The economy is bad because it's Biden, Kamala Harris, like administration that's in power right now. So if she comes in office, it's going to be more of this. And then on top of that, I don't think no other nation will respect her. So it would look kind of bad for America to have that woman as a president, let alone a woman in general. Now, do I think a woman can lead? Absolutely. Do I think it would take a rare special woman? Absolutely. I don't think Kamala Harris is that woman, though. They won't respect her. Think about it. A lot of our presidents are tall. If you get Kamala Harris in there, it won't look good. When she go meet up with other powerful leaders, it just won't look good. They won't take her serious. They probably try to do a war just because she's a woman. She a woman. Let me test her. let me test her gangster. You ain't my mother. You ain't my father. Pressing mad missiles like that. Testing her gangster. It's very possible. I ain't saying it is, but I ain't saying it ain't. It's very possible. You get what I'm saying? But I just said, man, I'm seeing black women voting for her left and right just because she's black. But it's the same woman who really never really claimed to be black until election times. She always identified with her Indian side of the family. Now she's Jamaican and Indian, right? So she always identified more with the Indian side. I call myself. No, I ain't gonna say that. But what I will say is this: had that been a black man in higher power with a white wife, because it happens, y'all would insult this man. Look at Clarence Thomas. Hold on one second. I got the calls coming in. I gotta do this real fast. I'm bugging out. Exit this call. Hold on. My bad. But look at Clarence Thomas, right? Supreme Court, who was going against affirmative action, which I agree with 100%, because black people can make it in these places without the help of your skin. Back then, I understand why it was in play. It had ran out its time, right? So, everybody look at him and his white wife and use it against him as a whole black man. And they was calling him white because he had a white wife. But then the same black woman will vote for Kamala Harris, who have a white husband, and they don't call her white by that same logic. Her kids are not black. And then let's go with Joy Reid, for example. Joy Reid, basically in this clip, is calling black men who vote for Trump white or white adjacent.
This kind of election before, you see the same thing in Hungary. Like the Orbanism of the party is, it's rooted in returning white Christian men, but also white men and white adjacent men, you know, right. Black men, brown right. men who are like white adjacent in terms of trying to
Joy
also
Reid
be in that dominant position in society.
Black men who vote for Trump, white adjacent, try to say that we were basically the next type of white man or white inside. Black women, I'm going to need y'all help on this one. How is it okay for black women to disrespect black men for voting or for whatever? They get no backlash or no type of pushback on their wild ass comments to black men on white networks. But if a black man critiques a black woman, then hell, it's World War 19. How is this okay for her to insult black men because they want to vote for Trump? But I thought we wasn't a monolith. Black women need to check her. First of all, Joy Reid, so you basically calling people like me white adjacent because I'm voting for Trump. Let me ask you a serious question. Who looks like they want to be a white man? Me or Dennis the Menace? She don't even like her own self. She's wearing a white man hair. Dennis the Menace hair. She's wearing Dennis the Menace hair. But then try to say black men who vote for Trump is literally white adjacent. But you have on Donald Trump hair. I know I ain't bugging. With that being said, man, I just want to say, man, black people, vote for whoever you're going to vote for. That's your right. That's your American right. But just whoever you vote for, I don't care if it's Kamala Harris or Donald Trump. If you really truly believe in Kamala Harris and her policies, I would say go vote. That's your right. We can still be friends. We can still hang out and everything. I don't mind that type of thing. But I get disrespected on a regular because I said I support Trump. And most people who are getting mad don't even know the reason why they don't like Trump. They was told by their plantation leaders, see him over there? Don't like him. He's an evil white man. Meanwhile, their person is an evil white person. They have lied to you, man. It's time to get off that plantation, man. Think for yourself, man. Think for yourself. Think for yourself. Please don't vote for Kamala Harris because she's a black woman. Don't do that. Please be informed when you vote for this woman. With that being said, later.